Hello and welcome to my garden and the dinosaurs who live there. We're on Sunday the 29th of September and it's a lovely day. Bit cool, thus the layers. They may come off later. But yeah, it's a really nice day. So behind me you can see the raised bed that I built a few weeks ago and filled and put some brassicas in. And the time has come, much as though I've been avoiding it, the time has come to build the second one of these beds. So I'll sort of show you a little bit about how involved that is. It's actually not very hard, it's just a wee bit monotonous, a bit boring, and I'm more a sort of spur of the moment, exciting things sort of a gal. So anyway, yeah, I want to get it built because it'll take a bit of filling and I have some more brassicas that I want to put out. So yeah, let me show you how that goes. I should say it's going to be monotonous for me building it, but hopefully the video won't be monotonous. I'll cut to some other things as well. I don't want to bore the pants off you all, so please keep watching. It's not going to be a monotonous, boring video. Fingers crossed. Okay, here's the bed. It comes in a nice small flat box, and my tools of choice for constructing it are a drill, a spanner, and they're to tighten up the nuts and bolts, a pair of scissors, which is always handy to get into some of the packaging, and a pair of gloves. Gloves should be worn when you're working with metal like this, because it can have some little sharp edges. That's the recommendation. I find it a little bit cumbersome working with gloves, so my apologies if you see I'm not working with gloves, but the recommendation for working with metal beds is that you do so with gloves on. So as the expression goes, hell mend me if I cut myself. Right, in the box we get some instructions, we get our bits of bits of metal, and we get a bag of nuts and bolts. And it always sort of makes your heart sink, I think, when you see so many nuts and bolts that you're going to have to use to build the bed. But I've done one. It's not hard, as I say, it's just a little bit time consuming. So here goes. The instructions are pretty easy to follow, just diagrams with letters of the alphabet and numbers on them corresponding to the pieces. So yeah, it's not too bad.
I can reach you from a distance. I can, so beautiful. I can hear you within the silence. We will dance away the gloomy days.
Okay, that is one end done. Got the other end to do, and then sort of double the effort for the long sides. Cool. Yay. Second end. Now the fun begins with the long ends. One nuts. Phew, right. That was a pain. Oh. And Winnie Boo. Right, now to put the 4 bits together. For this I need to stand up. Ooh. Okay, that is it. Mostly built. Phew. So what I'm going to do now is just position it. It's pretty much in position. Just a little bit of movement along that way required. Then I'm going to put the brace in the middle. So across here, There's some bracing to do, and that just stops it being wobbly. And once it's filled, actually, it's really quite solid anyway. So, how long did that take? Hang on till I see what the time is. Okay, that's taken an hour and a half, pretty much straight through to build that. It'll probably take me another 10 minutes to get the braces in, and then it's going to take me a bit of time to get it all filled. But yep, a good start. Yippee! That's the building of it done. Now for the slightly more strenuous activity of filling it, because there's a lot to fill. I'm going to start by putting some rotten logs in the bottom here, and then I'll get some chicken bedding in there, and ultimately towards the top some compost. And you can see, hopefully it's sitting next to the other bed that I built a few weeks ago, slightly offset in that they aren't in alignment, but that's just because of the space at the top of the garden. But there's plenty of space around to get a wheelbarrow around, and there's also plenty of space in the middle there for me to get through and to tend to the crops either side. Might even get a wheelbarrow in there if I needed to, but I don't think I'll need to. So, very pleased. Now to fill it. Oh. I suspected the layers are off. I'm down to my my t-shirt here. So yes, filling up a raised bed, particularly a raised bed of this size, does take a bit of energy. I'll show you where I am so far. Okay, I would say it's about a third full at the moment, and all of this, well, there's a layer of rotten logs, then the rest of the material has come from one of my Dalek compost bins. It's not completely rotted down, but it's not too bad. The majority of the stuff in the compost bin, other than green material, the brown material is the hemp bedding from the chicken run or from chicken coop or whatever. It does rot down fairly quickly, but there's a wee bit more to go, but that's okay. I'll put some more layers in of that, and then I can get some compost on top. And to be fair, it'll be the compost that mostly the plants will be growing into. What I might do is, just before I put a layer of compost, mix through some other, maybe bloodfish and bone or seaweed or something into this layer, just so there's plenty of feed here for the brassicas when I put them in. Okay, we're a couple of days on since I started the project, and I filled up the bed, not completely, but enough to grow something over the autumn and winter in it. So I put down logs and compost from the compost bins and chicken manure from the chicken run, and then topped it off with a few bags of bought in compost. And I've planted in, at this side, we've got 5 cauliflower. This is called Mystique F1. And at this side, we have got 5 cabbage, and this cabbage is Dutchy. Now, I haven't put the structure in place to hold the netting around to make it into a decent sized, nice tall brassica cage or brassica bed, because I've run out of debris netting, but I've got some in order. For now though, because the plants are not at the top of the bed has worked out quite well, because I've now got my last piece of debris netting just over it. There's not any cabbage whites now, but I quite like, particularly when we've got young plants like this, I just like having something to keep the birds out, and also, since we're into autumn, any sort of loads of leaves landing on top of them. So yeah, really pleased with the result. As I say, I'll get the sort of main part of the cage, the top part of the cage built once I get the new debris netting through. But for now, that does the job. So I think that's me for this video, folks. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed, I would love it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. But for now, I will say bye-bye.